Hello guys, welcome to today's video. I'm gonna be doing market analysis on xauusd gold on its possible next move, and straight to the point. Gold had a retracement during it was January 29th, and where this retracement, which I had already told you guys why this happened in a previous video, why we dropped, why gold dropped here, and I remember telling you guys exactly why. This one was the 2nd of February. If you take a look on the other side, we pushed toward to exactly it was 2nd of where was it 2nd of January. Yeah, it was 2nd of January. So if you take a look at where we really stopped at, this was the high of 2nd of January. If I mark it, 2nd of January right here, there we go. That's the high, and this is the low of 2nd of February. You see that? Yeah. This all when you hear people talking about price and time here, this is part of it. So this drop here was signaled because this week they had trapped traders, and it was all buying, buying, buying. So a lot of people were, with the geopolitical factors, they were like, we are buying gold, we are buying gold, we are buying, and you see the institutions were helping them, pushing low higher. You see, like this last high, this last bullish move, this was set up. Now this they did this intentionally before they could do the reversal Thursday. The reversal Thursday pushed price down, and I told you guys even before this one happened, on hourly time frame, it had shown signals that this price wanna go down. What I was not sure of is whether we would really push this lower. Like in just 3 days, we did a damage that is now taking that has taken us, over a month maybe, just to recover from the damage we did here. It has taken us long, you see, to recover there, but we are heading there. So straight to today's analysis. My name is Rocky Calvin, and welcome to Question and Trading. Hope you guys like and subscribe to the channel for more informative videos like this one. So apparently, we're in a situation whereby we have an opposing PD race for the buys. See this one? We have a bearish gap here. This is the first thing you're supposed to be uh, marking. We need to understand with analysis. You need for you to understand price action properly. You need to mark the PD race and understand like where do we stand right now. What is opposing us from going higher, and what is opposing us from going lower? In real sense, we had a bullish PDRA when you had this drop that happened recently, and I understand a lot of people also lost this money this last week when Israel and the US, launched attacks on Iran, and a lot of people were like, "We going high and to the all-time highs," and just like that, they were trapped. And you see, price, as much as there are geopolitical factors, the geopolitical factors are just gonna enable price to deliver with higher rate of volatility, but price will always do what it had planned to do. So over here we gapped up, and it's the same thing I'm expecting here to. And once we open Monday, we're gonna gap up. Then there's a possibility we're gonna retrace a little bit, then go higher. But I won't like us to retrace towards this low. I won't want this low to be touched. You see this one here? This low is not gonna be touched according to I like. Let me not say it's not gonna be touched, but I won't like this low to be touched. Let me mark it up. Let me mark it up like that. So I won't like this low to be touched. Even if price retraces, you see how price has been playing around that consequent encroachment of that bullish daily fair value gap, which was balanced by Tuesday. So Tuesday manipulated Monday lows, and after manipulating those Monday lows, we displaced aggressively below this PDRA right here. So meaning that our next move was this one. So the way we've closed here is what matters to me most. I want you guys to take a look at what's happening here. We respected we respected this bullish daily fair value gap, meaning that only the wicks did the damage and the bodies went back to close above the consequent encroachment of that gap. You see that? So once you've confirmed a couple of days, for example, Wednesday we closed back in, Thursday the same thing, Friday the same thing. So what do you expect? Meaning that price is literally holding right here. Some people would have said this is a break of structure for the retail traders. I'm not saying that retail doesn't work. This is a break of structure. So you wait for a break of you wait for a retest, which happened right here. So they would have entered this retest and put their stop loss below here, and now they're targeting all-time highs. This is for the swing traders. Okay. but I don't trade it as such. But yes, they all have the same thing. The same thing is the same conference in this scenario. So we have this PDRA right here holding price, and now we have an opposing PDRA right here. Now this opposing PDRA is a low probability one, but I can't really say anything about it until we displace above it, because I can say this is a low probability. But as you can see, the way we disrespected it, we had a bullish one here, and we disrespected it. But what's on my mind right now is if you were to go lower, this same candle would have disrespected this PDRA, meaning that now we were gonna be using this one to sell off. But the fact that this candle, as much as it disrespected this PDRA, it ended up respecting the PDRA below it. And with the geopolitical factors are siding so much with gold going higher, meaning that this PDRA is giving us good price action of holding price right here, so it's supposed to be going higher. So expect gold to hit all-time highs probably next week, at least to take out these highs next week, and as we go to all-time highs, yes, it's going to happen. That's what I aspire for gold. Okay, we have this opposing PDRA, but I'm not paying so much attention to it. What I'm saying is like, where are we coming from? What have we done here? We've done the damage right there. So this opposing one, I don't see it as a high resistant liquidity. This is just a low resistant liquidity that's going to be run as we push for all-time high. So some traders are already tricked. Some of them are planning to sell this gold from this level. I would like to advise you, don't do that. Don't sell gold from this level. Not unless we close that day and realize that price is really respecting this speed array consecutive days. But even if it is respecting it consecutive days, if we want to go down, the question is where are we going to? We're going to take liquidity from this level, from this level, from this level, and from this level. But now that simply means that there's going to be a change or a market shift. That's going to mean that there's literally going to be a change. Okay. So I don't really expect that to happen because we have balanced the PD race right here. So it's supposed to be going higher. So actually expect a new gap to be created here between Tuesday or Wednesday, a bullish one. So that being said, that's the analysis that I have for gold. If you go on hourly time frame, now let's see what's happening on hourly time frame. On hourly time frame, uh, everything I'm talking about right here, I've made videos on this channel about market structure, and I've taught people. I do all this for free. I don't charge for anything, signals and so on. And actually, signals are some of the things that I don't really think I'll be able to do again, because last time I've been trying to give signals, but for some reasons, some people end up losing money because there's a fact that market changes within the shortest period of time. For example, I can tell you guys right now, we are bearish. But in the next 15 minutes or 5 minutes, something is going to happen that's going to be opposing my buyers on that sell. So for me as a trader, I can see that and be able to exit early. But what about the other people that I'm sending the signal to? So it becomes quite hard sometimes because this market, it usually changes. Like last signal I gave, there was a time I was planning to sell gold. I think, which week was that? Yes, it was right here. Yes, it was this one. It was this week. It was this Friday. Actually, it was on Thursday. I'd gave signals for sales from this specific level. I think it was right here. Yes, this one. And you see, we started moving lower. Then we closed that day without being delivered because I was targeting this loss. And price just came in consolidating. And at some point, I saw we had this bearish gap right here. I said, okay, the sales are now good. And I remember telling, if you check on my post, my last post I gave on signals, it was about this trade here. Sales was from here. Then I said, okay, now you can even add another position from here, putting your stop loss at break even. But you see, I usually monitor these trades in even on lower time frames. So you see what price did here is what changed everything. When price came and disrespected this PD array, this gap, you see how I displaced above it? That changed everything. And that was a warning. You see what happened after that? So for me, when I see something like this immediately, my stop loss goes to break even or I exit immediately. But most of the time at break even. So you find that at some point, I don't post this or I don't tell because I don't even know who is taking these signals. I don't know, like I don't have a community yet. I'm like I'm not even sure that I'm dealing with people who are in these streets because nobody alerted me that yo I'm in this trade. So I have to, whatever I do, I monitor alongside with them. So you find that maybe there was somebody in this trade, but they're doing it low key. At the end of the day, they lost money here. But they lost money not because these cells were irrelevant, but because these cells were supposed to be delivered this very day that we entered. It was this day. It was we got entry on Thursday. But unfortunately, price ended up just accumulating that area even to the next day. And I usually don't like holding my trades for the next day. So since this failed to happen, and something else that I had not paid attention to actually later on, once these cells were kind of failing, we had an inversion here. You see this reversal that happened here, right here, which I came to check on later. This PDRA. This way, I always tell people mark them PDRA. This acts as inversion because see when Friday comes in, price comes back to the same gap that displaced below, trying to give ourselves, and now just plays around it without disrespecting it. But it was disrespecting the upper side. The lower side was really respected, meaning that this is now an inversion, and this is why this one failed. But still, we couldn't just assume that that's it. If we were supposed to be going lower, and this PDA raise to be targeted here, okay. For example, we had this gap. Actually, what I was targeting was this gap right here to be filled. It failed to do that, went higher, opened up the new week, went higher. Then the following day, dropped down and came and fell. This is what I wanted to happen right here, but unfortunately, it ended up happening the following, like 2 days later, because this is now Monday. Yeah, this was Friday, so this was the first day, and now this is so it happened 2 days later. So this was, they got me on this one, but regardless, when you're monitoring price, you would see that this was a violation of a PDRA. You see, when I mark this PDRA right here, this is a bearish one. So new traders were supposed to be actually when I saw this bearish PDRA, I was like, yeah, sells are in because this was a confirmation, this displacement. Okay. But now the moment, and actually when I realized that candles were kind of respecting it, these candles, these 3 hours was just playing around here. I knew that okay, these are good people. But the moment this candle just disrespected this level, immediately they show that there's a problem. And now for smart traders, this way you break even or you get away or you move out of trade. So that was what was happening, and all of these things, even the move that you're having right now, for example, this day we just on Tuesday we balanced that PD array, and coming on Wednesday we were just more of accumulating just in within the range, and then Thursday gave us that reversal Thursday, that very very on classic reversal. And if you wanted to trade it, you'd maybe this was a break of structure right here, a break of structure. So you'd wait for price to jump into it on Wednesday, then you sell it, targeting this opposing PDRA, for example, this gap here. And now see how price was reacting to the consequent encroachment of that daily bullish fair value gap, this one right here. And that's where we got our move going higher. So yes, the only issue I'm having here right now is that we do not have an opposing PDRA or PDRA supporting price move towards the upside, except for this one, which is already rebalanced. So I'm expecting first to gap up, and that gap up is likely to create an inefficiency that we will now be using to push price higher on gold. And that being said, that's my analysis on XAUSD. See you in the next one.